Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark, Sarah, and Pam. We're covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Give us a listen at lydiamediallc.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
Today's show is brought to you by United Piping, serving residential and commercial customers with new installations and repairs. Call today and schedule your oil and gas boiler cleanings at 754-4556. UPI, the best plumbers around. Also brought to you by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it.
Squatch it.
I know, she said we were too early on that.
I know. I was trying to give her a breather.
Ruper's has 5 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com. And remember, the party starts at Ruper's.
We are joined in studio today by the owner of Got Bugs. Phil Gallant, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Excellent.
I like how you were able to make the name of the business with a question mark. Got Bugs? Like, you just did it perfectly.
And if anybody's wondering, folks, this is not an April Fool's joke. We do have Phil here from Got Bugs.
Got Bugs?
Got Bugs? Is that how you say it? Or is it Got Bugs?
It's Got Bugs, but I mean, how I started it was the whole, when I started pest control and stuff like the whole Got Milk thing,
Yep.
I would have Got Bugs.
I like it.
Got Bugs.
So that's how it came. Ended up that being my email account and stuff, and just kind of, I had that on my license plate. And
So when people got bugs, you're the guy they call.
I am.
All right. So we're going to find out all about that and a whole lot more coming up here in just a bit. But before we get there, let's take a look at some headlines for Tuesday, April the 1st.
Following the announcement of St. Dominic High School's closing at the end of the year, several families and alumni are organizing to save the school through fundraising efforts. A meeting is planned for 6:30 tonight at the Royal Oak Room in Lewiston.
The city of Lewiston plans to begin construction and road work on several areas throughout the city today. Drivers can expect delays or detours on Randall Road and Whipple, Vale, Beach, and Pierce Streets.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration's top vaccine official, Dr. Peter Marks, resigned due to Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s contradiction of scientific evidence.
What?
She didn't even finish it with a straight
I can't. The man has a worm in his head telling him what to do. Was anyone surprised?
Pam, I put those stories in for Sarah like I put gangster rappers in for you.
Perfect.
My
Love
head
it.
literally wants to pop off. Marx said, quote, "It has become clear that truth and transparency are not desired by the secretary, but rather he wishes subservient confirmation of his misinformation and lies." That's a quote, people.
Maine healthcare provider Sweetser plans to open a new facility aimed at helping children with severe behavioral and mental health needs. The 16-bed facility will serve youth under the age of 22 and provide a place where patients can live, attend school, and receive treatment. CEO Jane Van Bramer said, quote, "We will stop them from running away, from being trafficked, and from getting involved in potentially criminal activity."
The Lewiston City Council will hold a 6 p.m. workshop and 7 p.m. meeting tonight at City Hall. The agenda can be found at lewistonmaine.gov, and the meeting will be broadcast on the city's YouTube channel.
And for the weather,
Weather!
cloudy and windy today with a high of 44 and a low of 27. Cloudy tomorrow with a high of 42 and a low of 22. Rain on Thursday with highs in the low 50s.
In sports, the Red Sox lost to the Orioles 8-5. Then they signed 25-year-old left-handed ace Garrett Crochet to a 6-year deal. The Sox and O's will play again tomorrow in Baltimore at 6:30, and Rafael Devers is 0 for 19 with 15 strikeouts.
Wow. Al Horford's 26 points led the Celtics over the Memphis Grizzlies, 117-103. Boston has won 9 straight and 14 of its last 15 games. They'll host the Miami Heat tomorrow night.
Go Celtics.
Go Celtics.
That's all we got going for us right now.
Because the Bruins, man,
I'm excited for the game, though.
stink. The Bruins have lost 8 in a row. and will host the Washington Capitals tonight at 7.
What do you think is going to happen tonight? You think Ovi will make it happen?
I hope he does. Wouldn't that be great?
I would love to see it.
I think the Bruins should pull their goalie in the first period and see what happens.
Let him do it.
Just
see what happens. Sway, just get out of the way.
Yeah, you bum. Go listen to Dave Matthews.
Oh, my boy.
That is your news, weather, and sports. And right now it is time for the podcast segment that is Sweeping the Twin Cities. It's time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
Let's take a look at FPBs for April the 1st, shall we?
Sure.
We're going to find out all our April Fool's birthdays
That's
here.
right. How funny to have your birthday be April Fool's Day.
And Sarah, you had one you wanted to start with.
Yes, Taron Killam is 43 years old today. He was in a couple of movies, but he started out on Saturday Night Live. He's a funny guy. He was in 12 Years a Slave. He's recently just did a television show on Netflix called The Residents, and he was in a show on ABC called High Potential.
Cool.
All right.
He's a very funny guy.
Clifford Smith Jr. is 54 years old today.
Who dat?
Who dat?
Pam knows him as Method Man.
Can we just put on the record that I don't think I've ever chose to listen to Method Man?
Oh.
But
all
you
right.
like the Wu-Tang Clan?
Sure.
I saw a 90s rapper, and I was like, well, Pam's going to be all over that.
So the backstory here is that FPBs tend to be a little lackluster. And one day, Dr. Dre, and I was like, ooh, okay. He's notable.
And then ever
I've
since
never
then,
lived it down.
it's just been
Yeah,
gangster
it's a
rap for
thing.
Pam.
Yep.
Just-
Who doesn't like a little 90s rap, right?
Right. Yeah.
Doesn't.
I still like 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talk about it all the time. Can we go back to the
I
90s?
actually went to a live show on one of the I Love the 90s.
Yeah, see?
Montel Jordan, Vanilla Ice,
Oh, Vanilla
You
Ice.
saw Vanilla Ice?
Tone Loc.
What?
Was
Phil.
there Salt and Pepper?
It wasn't Salt and Pepper.
They did do a tour, though.
I think they did because there was a few.
Yeah.
I love the 90s, but yeah, I would love to see them too.
You saw Vanilla Ice.
I did.
I base my life on his teachings.
you still wear the parachute pants?
I do.
Oh, nice.
I do,
Nice.
yes. And whenever I can, Phil, I stop, I collaborate, and I listen.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do all those things?
I try to do all three every day.
I did throw on some Dr. Dre while I was working out yesterday.
Nice. Working out. You cheating?
I'm trying to get ready for the Dash for Dogs.
I thought we had an agreement. We were going to do the 5K to couch program.
We're going to 5K to couch. I'm going to race you on the 27th.
Oh, you're
I'm
not racing me.
I'm not racing
I'll be
anybody.
walking.
I'll just be.
Singer Susan Boyle is 64 years old today.
Aw.
Remember her?
Yeah.
Yes.
I Dreamed a Dream.
That's
that album
right.
came out in 2009 and was one of the best-selling albums of the 21st century.
She shocked people when she got up there and opened her
did.
mouth and made the most beautiful sounds.
Right, yeah. Over 10 million copies sold of that album. Yep. And rounding out FPBs for April 1st is director Barry Sonnenfeld, 72 years old today. He directed the Men in Black trilogy,
I love those movies. They're
Yep.
funny.
The Addams Family in 91,
Oh.
Addams Family Values in 93, and Get Shorty.
Those are all really good movies.
Yeah.
And I even like Wild Wild West.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Kevin
think I saw
Kline.
that one.
It was a Kevin Kline and Will Smith Western
Yes.
with Salma Hayek. It was silly. I liked it.
Those are your FPBs. Now it's time for some OTDs. Let's take a look at what happened on this day. 11 years ago on this day in 2014, an April Fool's prank pulled by NPR. They tried to convince people that Keanu Reeves was remaking Citizen Kane, starring himself as a fictionalized version of Fox News billionaire Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah?
Never took off.
No.
15 years ago on this day in 2010, Ben & Jerry's announced the world's first virtual ice cream. They
my
claimed
God.
you could test the flavor of the ice cream by licking your computer screen.
Anybody fall for that?
How many people do you think did it?
I think there
I
were
bet there
tens
were a
of
bunch.
thousands
Too many people.
licked computer monitors that day.
Yeah.
I remember I was in middle school and the radio had told everyone that they should cover their telephones because we had, telephones plugged into the wall back then.
Yeah.
Because the telephone companies were going to be blowing compressed air to clean out the lines.
Oh, man.
My friend's mother did it.
That's a good one.
Oh, so funny.
29 years ago on this day in 1996, another April Fool's prank.
This is a good one.
Taco Bell said they bought the Liberty Bell and were renaming it the Taco Liberty Bell.
Outrage ensued.
Outrage ensued, yes. 55 years ago on this day in 1970, President Nixon signed a measure banning cigarette advertising on radio and television.
No joke.
And I
No
bet
joke.
people were like, is this a joke?
Yeah.
You can't do anything on April 1st without
it-
people
Right.
thinking, like, really?
And finally, 68 years ago on this day in 1957, another April Fool's prank. The BBC announced that because of a mild winter in Switzerland, spaghetti trees were producing more spaghetti than normal. And they showed footage of people pulling strands of spaghetti off of tree branches. People immediately started calling in asking how to grow their own spaghetti tree. So the BBC told them, place a string of spaghetti in a tin can of tomato sauce and hope for the best.
That's the best joke ever. Come on.
I will say that didn't work.
Phil tried it.
Those are your FPBs and OTDs for April the 1st.
Whether you want a sit-down meal or a grab-and-go, Pat's Pizza in Auburn offers delicious sandwiches, pasta, salads, and pizza at family-friendly prices. Pat's Pizza, serving the L.A. area since 1985. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 85 Center Street in Auburn. Online at patsauburn.com.
Now we shift focus fully to our guest in studio, Phil Gallant of Got Bugs.
Bugs?
Got Bugs.
Got
Phil, that
Bugs.
is it's a unique line of work that you're in.
It is.
And I think we'd all like to know how you got started.
Well, I got started. I was working at Wendy's. I stumbled across an ad for Modern Pest for looking for seasonal technicians and stuff. So I applied and had an interview and started seasonal. They were going to try me out for the season by like October. They were going to let me know if they'd want to keep me on. But within a month of me working there, starting in March, they already liked my work and hired me on after a month. And so I started working with them and did residential and then ended up having a commercial route. And I was there for about 10 years.
Wow.
Decided to part ways with them. And, and then I worked for another company, Terminex, worked with them for a few years, parted ways with them too. And then my most recent, I worked for Turf Doctor for about 5 years. And then after at that point, it was about 20 years in the industry and figured it was time for me to start my own business and decided to take my master's. It was a written and oral exam, passed it, and here I am. I opened up my own company.
Wow.
As I had mentioned, Got Bugs. that's how it started. Because like I said, just since I've been with Modern, I'd always do that, Got Bugs because the whole Gut Milk thing that was like popular.
Right.
And stuff. So, it stuck. And I do have like on my advertisement, I don't only do bugs. I also treat for rodents, rats, mice, moles, voles.
Indoors or outdoors, right?
Indoors or outdoors.
No capybaras.
No capybaras.
Technically, they are a rodent, but look how cute they are.
Or worms in the brain. But.
Oh, yeah. Can you get rid of that for us? That would be great.
They got there somehow, right?
Yeah. Phil, it's a huge leap from working for an established company to opening your own business and working for yourself and becoming an entrepreneur. Did you have any reservations about doing it, or was that kind of the plan going in?
It was reservations over the years. Even when I worked at Modern, I've thought about doing it, but was a little nervous. Not necessarily like the written part, but the oral, because, back in the day, I heard the oral was like you'd have to like stand up in front of like a board of like 10 people or so, and they would just drill you with questions like about rules and regulations. So it was kind of nerve-wracking, but I think ever since COVID had hit, it's become like a one-on-one. Like my oral was just like a sit-down, like you and I, or just a one-on-one with just questions and answers. Yeah. They'd ask me, so it was a lot more laid back. I did great on it and passed.
And then you were cleared to open your own business.
Cleared to open my own business.
And it's been going well ever since.
It's been going well. I've gotten a lot of like clients from that I used to service and new clients. I mean, just by advertising, putting out business cards, door hangers. I put out yard signs.
What are people calling you for right now at this time of year?
This time of year now with April, it's going to be more so ticks.
I was just going to ask about ticks.
That's I've gotten some calls already with the season. My hopes is, I mean, if we are done with the snow, which I hope.
Who knows?
Is that my hopes is the next week or two that I'm out there starting to spray.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the big thing for this time of year. I mean, mostly ticks, but also like tick and mosquito.
Yep.
Right.
A combo.
Is there a weather combination through the winter that impacts the population? Do you see like a shift in, like if we have a mild winter, is it more? Is it?
If we have a mild winter, it's more so the tick population.
Yeah.
But even through the like harsher winter, I mean, they'll still survive
Yeah. Yeah.
and stuff. But I mean, yeah, but with the warmer temperatures,
Yeah.
you start
Tend to
to see
have
them
more.
more.
Yeah. I would say we didn't have a particularly rough winter, so I was kind of anticipating it would be a bad year for ticks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're the worst. I think they're the spawn of Satan.
They're pretty
That's
awful.
Yeah. I've had 2 of the 3 blood disorders you can get from ticks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, good times.
Yeah. Good time. So
like
fun.
You know the only one I haven't had, Sarah?
The baby
You got it.
Yeah, that one.
Is that based on scientific evidence?
Yep.
That pronunciation?
Yep. It is not contradictory or made up. In any way.
Babesiosis.
Babesia. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But that's what I said. You heard me. That's
right.
what I said.
That's what you said.
That's also part of my job, not the fact of just doing a job for somebody, but also how grateful they are. Like when people, I mean, I don't know how many people told me that, since you've started spraying, whether it be ticks or ticks and mosquitoes, I mean, how much they can actually be out in their yard and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I've had so many people tell me that because just with how bad it's gotten over the years, some people, I mean, unless they have it treated, I mean, have to stay inside.
Yeah. And nobody wants to just light citronella candles, which don't really work that well, or spray themselves with bug spray every, 15 minutes. But yeah, who wants to spend, their money on a great outdoor space and not be able to enjoy it because of the bugs?
Yeah. I'm all for natural remedies for things too, but I think there are some things that just can't be naturally remedied. Like
Some things need to be set on fire.
we need to be
Right, yeah,
we just
absolutely.
need to be more aggressive. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you have an
Yes.
invasive
Yes.
species moving its way through. Like
And that's part of my service is educating people too, because I mean, I do offer organic. I mean, it breaks down quicker. I have to do more treatments and it's more costly that way, but it doesn't work as well as I use bifenthrin as an active ingredient and it is a pesticide, but as long as you educate them, it's very low toxicity. I mean, I'm misting, so I'm not like
Right.
soaking anything down. I mean,
Yeah.
just stay off the property for 45 minutes to an hour after for pets, kids, and so as long as you educate them and stuff, and then once it's dry, it's fine. You're not going to get exposed.
Yeah. I'm curious how that works. Like, do you spray like the boundaries of the yard?
Yep.
It prevents the ticks from coming in the yard. How does that work?
For ticks, I do like a barrier around the wood line, about 3 feet up, like into the woods, and I use it's a power mixer that just shoots out into the woods. And everything shoots like 20 to 30 feet and stuff. So I hug the wood line and spray out there, and then spray like 10 feet onto the lawn, and then I spray like around like any trees or mulch beds, under decks, just where ticks are known to hide. I mean, typically like in the middle of the lawn and stuff when it's sunny, I mean, they'll dry out. So if they end up that way, they won't last.
Right.
Mosquitoes is a little bit different. I mean, I do mostly the same I do for ticks, except like I would spray up higher where they fly. I'd spray like 8 feet up, and then I would do like the whole lawn, and everything, just so when they land, they'll get to the pesticide and kill them.
30 feet doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're a tick, that's a lot.
It's
That's
like
a long way. They don't
few
fly.
miles.
Yeah, that's a long way. I can walk 30 feet. Ticks can't walk 30 feet.
They can. It just takes them longer.
Takes them all day.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's definitely the season. And I'm sure, are you busy year round? Like, I'm sure in the winter, people have mice problems and rodent problems in their homes, right?
Yes, I'm busiest during the spring, summer, fall, and then winter time. I mean, really the only thing is mainly rodents. I mean, sometimes I'll get some calls for spiders and stuff. I mean, if they're like in the basement or if they see them, but it's mostly rodents. So I mean, I don't stay as busy during the winter months, but definitely coming up, I mean, is when I get busy.
That's when all the little baby rodents come out too.
Right. Yeah.
Those are the babies.
All the babies.
Were you ever creeped out by any of this stuff?
Yeah.
Like even when you were a kid? Because some kids like to play with bugs and stuff, and they find stuff in the woods.
Like I always would tell people too, because that stuff never bothered me. I was like, I tell people, I mean, as a kid, I mean, I used to play with bugs all the time and never thought I'd still be playing with them today.
And making bank,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm licensed to kill. I mean, what? I mean, so I mean, and I get paid for it. I mean, so I mean, couldn't ask for anything better.
Which bug wronged you in your childhood?
Pam, I do believe this is the first time we've ever had a contract killer as a guest on the show.
That's right.
That's right.
Well,
Congratulations, man.
I got my license to prove it. Huh?
Making history on the Lunch Bunch. I like it.
And I will say something that it's not. I mean, bats. They did as a kid. I mean, I actually when I was at home in middle school and stuff, I was sleeping and like head down, and my back was exposed, and I had something crawl. I felt something crawl on me, and I was just thinking like it was a spider or something like that. And then I was like kind of like brushing. I was still half asleep, kind of brushing it off, and next thing you know, I could hear like these like wings and like fly and I was like, no, that's no spider and stuff. So I'm like putting the covers like over my head, and I could just hear it flying around.
Creepy.
So
It was on you?
it landed on me,
On his bare back.
on my bare back.
I like bats outside.
Let's say I've never been dealt with bats now, but I mean
What's the largest pest that you've had to deal with?
I mean, I have like when I worked for Terminex, we did wildlife a little bit, and I have set out Have-A-Hearts, and I have caught like skunks and raccoons and set them free. So I mean, as far as that goes, I mean, but like I said, if you're looking for like the largest infestation, I mean, I used to do this area a lot working for different companies, and I've done like roaches and bed bugs and stuff like that where they're crawling out of the outlets, out of the ceilings, and just everything. I mean, just
Oh, boy. Bed bugs don't care.
Well, they prefer someone to be there.
They want to eat you.
and then they're living rent free. So
I've heard that fleas are actually worse than bed bugs to get rid
Oh.
of. Is that?
Yeah?
Do you find that to
nope,
be?
as fleas are easier to manage than bed bugs. Usually, on average, within a couple treatments, I can get rid of fleas. Bed bugs, on average, 3 to 4, usually every week and a half, couple weeks, sometimes more, like, depending on the activity, the level
Fleas
of activity.
creep me out. I
Yeah.
don't like fleas.
What about for mice? You must get a lot of calls in the colder months.
I do, and mice are also pretty easy as opposed to rats. Rats are more conscientious to their surroundings, so it takes a little bit. I set out bait stations, and rats are something new in their environment. They got to sniff around a little bit and see and stuff before they actually go to it. Mice, they'll just go in and eat. And
Oh, little mice.
kind of like their Last Supper type deal.
They're oblivious.
They die happy, right? Say they die
Yes.
happy.
But I am a fan of bait as opposed to snap traps, just because I mean it's multi-feed, and like 10 plus mice can feed off of one. Well, I said one trap that you snap and it's done.
You run the type of business where when people call you, they are stressed,
They are.
right? They are stressed out, and by the time you take care of the problem and leave, I got to imagine you've made their day a whole lot better,
Absolutely.
and they're happy to write that check.
Absolutely. And even before that time, I try to ease their mind and make it as less stressful. I said by educating them and let them know, like what I plan to do, and even before I do it, they feel confident and relieved. Because, no one wants to, especially without knowing, no one wants to be living with, certain pests and stuff like that. And
Uninvited guests.
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
So I try to ease their mind and educate them and explain. I said, so it can be a little bit tricky to do with certain things like roaches and bed bugs, but I just let them know my plan of attack, and I'm pretty confident in, because they're like, well, are these ever going to go away? I'm like, it may take a few treatments, but eventually we'll get to that point. and everything. But I mean, if it's not like I just had this lady too, I mean, that had beetles, but she said that they were getting in her clothes and eating her clothes and everything. And I explained like they're occasional invaders, and because she thought that she was going to be stuck with these forever. And I'm like, no, I mean, I mean, they're occasional invaders, I mean, you don't really get infested with them. I mean, and within a couple treatments, I mean, I'll have it pest free for you and everything. So it's just a matter of just educating them, like I had mentioned, and just kind of making them feel at ease a little bit.
I have a question about moths. How come you never see them until there's holes in your sweaters?
Until there's holes?
Yeah. I don't see moths in my closet, and then I get holes in my sweater, and I don't understand. Where are they hiding?
Right. Probably looking at the wrong time.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're just like in there, and I just don't ever see them?
Yeah, I mean, they probably have moved on at that point.
Oh.
So, I mean, like I said, if you're like looking at the wrong time, like I said, I mean, because, I mean, if they're creating holes, I mean, then you'd see them there, eating. So, I mean, they probably already moved on somewhere else by the time you're looking.
They're like, they don't like this sweater.
They're like, this
Well, I don't like it now either.
Right? This one don't taste right. Let's move on to the next.
Yeah.
It's a very expensive merino sweater. It's just one sweater they eat. I don't understand.
It's the one they like?
It's the one they like.
All right.
I'd throw it away. You just don't see them. There's bugs you just don't see, so how do you know you have them?
Yeah, and that's a lot of things, I mean, that you don't always see. Like with this other lady too, she would have holes and stuff like that, and like she wouldn't see them. So an extra thing that I also did for her too, like I would put out like monitoring like blue boards and stuff in the areas, so that way, I mean, and it's good for moths or anything too. I mean, like they fly or crawl on it, and
They're stuck.
And they're stuck. So it's a good monitoring tool I like to use for someone who doesn't see it and knows something's there.
Someone like me. I'm also terrified of moths. I'm afraid they're going to crawl in my ear. I don't know. That's a weird one.
That is a weird one.
They come at your face. I don't. Moths are
Do
weird.
they?
Yes.
Okay.
When you get home at night and your light's on your porch, moths like fly at you. I'm afraid they're going to go in my ears. That's a weird fear. I don't.
You must
That's
saw
okay.
some video reel of someone pulling out a bug from someone's ear.
My cousin Nicholas had to go to the emergency room and have a moth removed from his ear as an adult.
There we go.
So
We found your trauma.
I don't. Now I'm nervous.
mean,
They
I've
make
said-
me nervous.
That'll be $200.
Therapy session.
I've seen moths, pounce on the lights or on the doors trying to get in, but I can't say that I've ever
Do they
seen them
knock?
well, I mean, they are pretty loud when they're like pouncing on the door. It sounds like a knock. They're trying to get in. They just keep banging.
To be clear, I'm not afraid of the big ones that knock. I'm afraid of the little ones.
Oh my God.
I do have another.
Should I be giving her my card?
Probably.
I did bring some extras for this,
Please do.
We should talk a little bit about brown-tail moths.
We should.
Because I'm sure you get a lot of calls for those too.
I do.
That's a growing invasive species here in Maine.
Yes, just like ticks, that's becoming more and more. And there are certain things you can do for that. So there are a lot of times where, I've almost treated it like a tick and mosquito and like treat like all the surfaces and everything, like where they land and kind of like up the trees or around someone's house, just wherever they're having. But also too, there's something that you can use that you can inject the tree with and stuff like that goes up and attacks them and before they actually get to that point.
Yeah.
And stuff. So there's a couple different approaches with that. But yeah, they're getting just as popular,
They're
if
evil.
not, as ticks.
They're pretty bad. Mark, you've had brushes with two really yucky pests because you have a very strong reaction to the brown-tail moth
I do.
caterpillar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are not fun. We had them on my property. I got to the point where my entire body was pretty much covered with brown tail because I was stupid. Thought I was wearing enough clothing. I covered my face and everything, and I started whacking at this at the nest. It was around a door, and I had to get in.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I gotta do it. Like, there's what do I do? I can't set it on fire because it's
Oh, can you?
my camp. So, so they were all around the door. And so I covered every inch of myself that I could, and just got a broom and started hacking away at it. And I paid the price. I was not well for like a week and a half.
Yeah.
It's their little
miserable.
hairs, right?
Yeah,
Their little hairs
yeah.
fly off and they get into
It's
your...
not only that, you'll get a rash, but you also inhale those hairs,
Yeah.
and then you have a hard time breathing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had one swimming in my bathing suit for like a half an hour before I realized it was there. My entire chest was like, it was not pretty. Same thing.
You know what's interesting? I spend a lot of time outside in the summer, and fortunately, I've never encountered the rash. I'm sure I've encountered the moth and the caterpillar, but I've never had the rash, which is I'm very grateful
Very
for
lucky.
that. I am
Yes,
very lucky.
It is miserable.
And it can depend on the person. Like I said, some people are more sensitive than others.
Yeah.
I'm very insensitive.
So we had a couple of nests up in a couple of trees on our property, and instead of calling someone like you to come take care of it, we just had the trees taken down.
Oh wow!
Like, yeah, we're just getting rid of it
Wow!
once and for all. Now they won't have a place to live.
Bye bye.
Yeah, so you may have been more cost effective.
Probably.
And you'd still, have trees.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
But they were dying anyways.
Oh, okay.
What area of Maine do you serve?
I try to keep like an hour radius from Augusta
Gotcha.
on average, but there are like some circumstances. Like there is a job that I picked up last year. It was a camp, and it's Rockwood. It's like right on the Jackman line. Couldn't find anyone. I mean, to go out there is 2.5 hours one way, and typically something I don't do, especially for one job. But he's like, I'm desperate. It's a camp. I have powder post beetles and carpenter ants, which are both wood-eating insects. So, of course, being in a wooded camp and everything, he was concerned.
Yeah.
And couldn't find anyone to go out there. And he's like, I'll pay you for your time, travel, whatever it takes. I just need someone out there. And, I came up with a price and a plan for him, and he was more than happy just to have someone out there to take care of it.
Yeah.
So I will make some exceptions.
So anyone else in Rockwood?
Yes, absolutely. And that guy would probably appreciate it more, because maybe I can give him a little bit better deal if I get more work up that way.
And Phil, how long has Gut Bugs been in business?
Since September of last year.
September of last year.
You've been in business a long time. You've been in the bug business
The bug
a long
business.
time. Yeah.
It's been in the bug killing and critter relocating business
Yes.
for a long time. How's it going so far? Like, are you getting as much business as you expected? Are you busier than you expected?
I mean, yeah, I would say that it's going pretty well. Like I said, being September, I'm kind of curious to see with all the advertisement I've done. This will be the first official opening like for the season, because where I started in September is kind of late and almost towards the end of the season that I'm usually busy in. So I'm curious to see what spring's going to bring. But like I said, all the advertisements, whether it be with you guys, Lydia, and like I said, all the stuff that I've done as well. Just kind of getting out there, and I will say, and I think a lot of people are impressed with this, because I'm out, like I said, when I'm not working. I'm like leaving flyers and stuff like that. In like hangers, like I'll go to Home Depot or something, and just on the windshields. I'll go in a parking lot and just leave some of those. My son has wrestling meets and stuff. All over where teams will travel, and I've left things on their windshields. I've left business cards at convenience stores and other stores that will allow me to, right at the front counter. Like I've got, like 24 by 30 like yard signs. That I'll put like on people's property that say I can do it. I'll ask them and stuff. Just people drive by and see, and just anything I can do myself. Just getting out there and advertising, because there is a lot of competition. I've known since I've worked at Modern, at least 5 coworkers have their own business that I used to work with.
Wow.
Plus you got the bigger companies, which I'm also finding out with those. A lot of people like to support local, and not a huge fan of like the bigger companies with customer service. And I always try to respond in a promptly manner. Like if I'm home, I'll answer the phone right away, or if not, I'll get right back to them and try to get to them. Like I said, if I'm available within a day or two and stuff. I don't want to keep people waiting, because a lot of times when they call, they don't want to wait. So
They're going to keep calling other people until they find someone to answer.
So, and like I said, I try to give them the best customer experience I truly can.
I think that's what's great, and what you should be able to expect from a small business.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's always me that you're going to deal with. It's not somebody else. And
Yeah.
that's what I intend on doing. Is if I ever get busy enough, I don't necessarily want to hire someone, to go out on their own, but maybe, someone to go with me and maybe
Right.
help me out kind of like as a laborer
Yeah.
or something, just to help me, if I do get to that point. But I would like to try to keep it, me,
Yeah.
people deal with me.
Well, you got kids, right?
I do.
Why not bring them up into it?
That's
Right?
another story. My
Oh, come on.
14-year-old is petrified. He'll scream in his room about a spider and stuff like that. Can I say, wouldn't you like to come work with me? Hell no.
No, absolutely not.
All right, so forget that plan.
Yeah, I've tried. And I've offered to pay him pretty good, but no amount of money is going to convince him.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah.
Phil, anything else about Got Bugs that you would like our listeners to know?
Like I said, I am a small business, and like I said, I appreciate everyone, who wants to support local and, try to give the best customer experience as possible. And, and one thing I do guarantee my services too, and I have shown that with everyone, like if they're not happy, just give me a call. I'll come back as many times as it takes and make it right.
That's a big one.
Yeah,
That's
I
Yeah.
don't do contracts with people. I've explained that because I want people to be happy with me, and I don't want to tie them into anything. It's like if you're not happy for whatever reason, no hard feelings. Fortunately, I haven't run into that with anyone's been unhappy because I do what I can, to make it right.
But you haven't been in business all that long, and I was psyched when Tim said we were going to get you on the podcast because it is a truly unique line of work that you're in, and it's one that is very beneficial to a lot of people
Yes.
in this area.
For sure.
I was going to ask you this earlier, then I forgot, then I just remembered. So I'd like to ask you now. Phil, have you ever had a client that tried to take care of the situation themselves and failed miserably?
Yes.
Let's hear it.
Which one?
Your favorite one.
I would probably say more so with like insects and stuff. Because for some reason they seem to think that bombs and stuff like that, just stuff that they put out there and like work.
Yeah. And they don't.
And all that is, that does mean that I think it's more or less like a steroid for them.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
it seems they seem to be causing more of a problem than they originally had by trying to do different things. And like I said, they've done some things for rodents. I'll hear some things like they do like the plugins that they think with like the little like sonic, like little beeping
yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
And
Doesn't work?
no.
Boy.
No, if they did, I probably wouldn't have a job.
Right. Right.
But and like also that they come up with like the little like barrel things with like the ramps and like the little like the spinning wheel and stuff like that they drop into.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
some homemade things that they've come, which is we'll catch a few and stuff. But it won't get rid of that problem.
I was going to say, it doesn't get to the root of the problem.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever had someone like tear down the walls in their house? Like just go nuts?
No.
Because I've considered it. Like years, not the place I live now, but previously.
Not completely tear down the walls. They have created some openings, and a couple people have let me open up a little bit. Like I said, I try to be, I don't want to tear down the whole wall,
Right.
the whole wall, but sometimes they're like, we plan on replacing this anyway, if I need to get to a certain spot, whatever they're like,
Yeah.
if you need to, make a little hole or something like that, by all means, but I said, I'm not in construction by no means, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to completely tear down and remodel their place.
Right. That's another job.
Right,
That's
to
another
get to the
service.
source, but usually with rodents and stuff like that. When I put out bait stations on the outside and on the inside, they don't stay in one spot. Even though if they're hearing them in the walls, they'll travel back and forth, especially in the fall when they're looking for food and shelter.
Yeah.
So they'll go back and forth. So between what I put on the outside and the inside, they'll find it. More times than not, I don't need to rip into someone's wall.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was just curious because it can be maddening, especially if you're hearing them, at night while you're trying to sleep and you hear stuff in your walls, and you can go nuts.
Yeah.
I speak from experience. Thanks for your time today, Phil.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
No
Got
problem.
bugs? Call Phil.
Locally owned and locally focused. Lydia Media celebrates the heart of the greater Lewiston Auburn area through 2 magazines, Uncle Andy's Digest and LA Metro Magazine, and the new Lydia's Lunch Bunch podcast. Each production shines a positive light on local businesses, nonprofits, events, and individuals making a difference in our community. Keep your advertising dollars local and position your business in front of your target audience with Lydia Media. Learn more at lydiamediallc.com.
And before we let you go, we have a little game we like to play called Three Random Questions.
Okay.
Are you in?
Absolutely.
Did you forget about that, Sarah?
No, I didn't. I just wanted to make sure that we got Phil's info out there, phone number and email. And
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. How can people reach you, Phil?
Hey, my email is gutbugs83@gmail.com. And my phone number is 207-242-4988.
Perfect.
There you go. Give him a shout.
Got bugs?
Got bugs? Call Phil. All right, Phil, 3 random questions. We're each going to ask you a question. Our goal is to learn a little bit more about you outside of the bug industry.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Phil, you mentioned earlier you saw Vanilla Ice in concert
I did.
along with, was it Tone Loc?
Tone Loc and Montel Jordan.
Big music fan. Phil, if you could create your own concert with 3 bands or performers, alive or dead, let me throw that out there. Yeah, your dream concert.
Okay. Number one, I've seen them multiple times, and I would see them as many times as Kiss.
Yeah, okay.
Kiss.
And I'm going to go a completely different way on this, but also
Before you get there, how many farewell tours of Kiss have you seen?
I'm still looking forward to their next one. We'll put it that way. But I could probably on one hand, probably about 5.
What is it about Kiss that makes them so cool to you?
I just think they put on an awesome show, and I mean, I think one of the first ones I've seen, I think they performed for an hour and a half, and then when they go off stage and then they do their encore, but they did another hour and a half.
wow.
Oh, boy.
And just the pyros, the show.
Yeah.
They just put on such a good show. They're very entertaining.
They do. Yeah, no doubt. All right, we got 2 more bands.
Okay. So I go a completely different way on this one, but I would say Five Finger Death Punch.
Okay. All right. It's gonna be a rocking
A
show.
little bit harder than Kiss.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
But I've seen them a couple of times, and I like their music. I think not quite as a good show as Kiss, but they're entertaining, and I love their music.
Okay.
All right.
And I do like a little bit of country, not that necessarily that country twang, but country rock. I like Brantley Gilbert.
All right.
This is going to be a heck of a show.
Yeah.
This is for a little something for everybody.
I was going to say.
Right?
And I've seen more and more do that. I've seen a country and rock kind of, or a hard rock in an 80s and heavy alternative.
Yeah.
So I think they're kind of drawing more a wide range of audience, which I do like to see.
Yeah.
Instead of just having one genre.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that the lineup? You're going to have Brantley Gilbert and then Five Finger Death Punch and then Kiss
Kiss.
headlining?
Yeah,
All
Kiss
right.
has to headline.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Who can follow Kiss?
Yeah, right.
Not what I can think of.
Yeah.
Are you going to put you 2 out there?
Oh, just ruined her day
Oh,
again.
jeez.
Or is it Method Man or something?
Yeah, Method Man.
Wu-Tang Clan. You have one?
Yes.
Okay, you go.
Which celebrity would you choose to be your best friend?
Oh,
Oh, my best friend.
I guess alive or dead. I'll give you that.
I would say, and this one's alive, but I would say Ryan Reynolds.
I was gonna pick Ryan Reynolds.
And similar when it comes to his personality, more so. I wouldn't say his newer movies, but one of my favorite movies with him is Waiting.
I love that movie.
Oh yes,
Love it.
And how he is just as a person, outgoing and stuff like that, make people laugh, and just has a sense of humor.
Yes.
He's funny.
I'm similar, and I think we would get along great.
I like that. Yeah. Cool.
Great movie. Yeah,
All right,
underrated
It
too.
is,
It's very
for sure.
funny.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you've ever worked in a restaurant,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Yes.
can relate.
Oh yes,
Very relatable.
yeah,
All right, you deal with pests all the time.
I do.
Would you rather battle
Oh God. Here it comes, Phil.
one horse-sized chicken or 100 chicken-sized horses?
She had to think about it. She was like, let me say this correctly.
Oh, yeah. We don't want to mess this up.
Right?
It's an important question. 1 horse-sized chicken or 100 chicken-sized horses?
I would probably say a horse-sized chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you take it out?
I'd probably try to ride it.
I can just picture it.
We're going to try to saddle that thing up. And then
What are you going to do? Ride it till it dies?
I mean, that'd be the initial. Try to
Right.
jump on his back and stuff and see if I can ride it.
Tame it. For your next advertisement, can we please take that cartoon version of you and put it on mount it on a chicken?
Oh, absolutely.
Just ride
Absolutely.
it out into the sunset.
Yeah, right? Yeah, just the term, just ride it out.
Phil, this has been super fun.
Thanks,
you.
Phil.
Hope you had a good time.
Oh, I did. I enjoyed myself.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming to visit us today, and best of luck with Got Bugs.
Thank you.
Got
today and
Bugs?
into the spring and the summer and the fall and the winter and
Oh,
all
my
the fun
goodness.
stuff we have coming up here in the great state
So
of Maine.
many bugs.
So many bugs.
Groundhogs.
Thanks to our sponsors, Ruper's Beverage and Redemption and United Piping. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, reach out to Pam via email at pam@lydiamediallc.com.
Have a great day. And remember, don't bite your cat.